DLG for wonderful session, and what a wonderful, blissful video of Swamiji. Thank you so much. Radhe Radhe. Good morning, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita session. Radhe Radhe, Nitinji, over to you.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you, Pallavi ji. Very warm welcome to all of you to today's edition of Daily Wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. And thank you, Dale ji and Sunil Bhai, for a wonderful session on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So let's move forward. Today we are going to talk about a topic which is, we'll go a little deeper into that. We'll talk about devotion, what devotion actually means, right? What is bhakti? What does devotion mean? Because this concept is important. Lord Krishna himself, in response to Arjun, says, although this knowledge is very confidential, but I'm revealing it to you because you are my devotee. So devotion, bhakti, we come across all these words, right? And different people have maybe different interpretations about it as well. Today, we'll try to put it in perspective so that, we have a good common understanding around the different facets of bhakti and what truly bhakti entails. That is what we're going to talk about today. So let's get started with our opening prayers, like we always do, by invoking the blessings of God and Guru. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Radhe Radhe, good morning, good evening once again. So hope you had a great day or having a wonderful start to your day. So let's get started. Today, again, I've picked up, see, we are in 4-4. So you would be expecting we'll go to 4-5. We will go there. I picked up 4-3 because we did not have a in-depth discussion on some of the things I wanted to touch upon. There are two aspects to it which we didn't get an opportunity to touch upon it. One was the devotee aspect of it, and second is the friend aspect of it. Right? If you look at it in this shloka, Lord Krishna is telling Arjun that I'm revealing this knowledge because you are my friend. Now, do we have to become a friend of Krishna to get this knowledge? Or there are some other relationships we can establish with him as well. And second is devotee. When he says you are my devotee, what does this word devotee means? Okay. What is devotion? What is devotee? What is bhakti? Let's try to understand that. So I'm going to recite this shloka, and then I picked up another shloka in conjunction with this shloka to drive forward this discussion. I picked up 10-10. So we'll pick up some hands. Some of you can take this shloka, some of you the other one. So let's get started. Sa evayam maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetaduttamam. Few hands on this one.
Yeah, I see multiple hands. Radhe Radhe, Ashutosh ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Ashutosh.
Radhe Radhe. Sa evayam maya tedya yogaha proktaha puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetad uttamam.
Wonderful. Very nice. Thank you, Ashutosh. Let's take maybe a couple more on this one.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe, Rahul ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Saevayam maya tedya yoga proktaha puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetad uttamam. Radhe Radhe.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rahul. Radhe Radhe. Maybe one more hand.
Ji, Shri Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Shri Ramya, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Sa evayam maya yoga prokta puratanaha भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं चेतदुत्तमम्. Thank you.
Wonderful, very nice, Shriramya. Okay, so let's take this and then I'll move to the next shloka. You'll have an opportunity to recite another one. In this shloka, Lord Krishna is telling, sorry about that. He's saying that the same ancient knowledge on being inquired, about this knowledge, he said, the same knowledge, which is the supreme secret, I am today revealing unto you, because you are my friend as well as my devotee, who can understand this transcendental wisdom. Let's move on. I've introduced one more shloka today. It's 10:10. Like 2020, you can remember 10:10. It says, I'm going to recite it. Tesham satat yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Okay, waving hands, you can pick up for this one.
Aparna ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe everyone.
Radhe Radhe.
Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Thank you.
Wonderful,
Radhe Radhe.
very nice. Aparna ji, Radhe Radhe.
Lakshmi ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe
Yeah,
Lakshmi ji.
Radhe Radhe everyone. Tesha satatayuktana vajjatam priti-purvakam tadhami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te.
Wonderful,
Radhe
very
Radhe.
nice. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Tarun ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
राधे राधे
Radhe.
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजताम पूर्तिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मामुपयन्ति ते. राधे
Very
राधे.
nice. Thank you. Tarun ji, Radhe Radhe.
Sam ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe
Radhe
Radhe.
Radhe. Tesham satat yuktanam bhajtam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamu payanti te. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Samji. I think your audio is fixed today. Yesterday it was not operating.
Yesterday, I think I had two things going at the same time on the same screen. That was the
Correct.
reason. And I wanted to mention to you yesterday some Truti. I mean, I read somewhere also Truti are supposed to be the smallest one, but that's okay. Once you go to that one, we
I'll
can
get into that, Ruti and Namesh. What's the correlation between the two? So thank you for pointing it out. All right, let's take the remaining hands.
Yeah, Riya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Riya ji.
Radhe Radhe.
Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te.
Thank you, Riya ji. Very nice. All right,
Radhe
let's
Radhe.
take the remaining hands.
Srishti ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. Tesam satat yuktanam bhajatam pratipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te.
Thank you, Srishti ji. Radhe Radhe. All right, last three. Let's freeze the hands to last three then. And then we can start.
I'll go ahead and then, yeah,
Sure.
Chetan ji and Uday ji.
Sure.
Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te.
Thank you. Very nice, Preeti ji. Last two hands.
मैं थी प्रीति जी ने.
Oh, sorry. Pallavi. Pallavi ji. Sorry about that.
Sounded like Preeti ji.
Pallavi ji.
Chetan
Very
ji,
nice.
Radhe Radhe, please go
Radhe
ahead.
Radhe, Chetan. Good to see
Radhe
you back.
Radhe every. Thank you, Nidhi. Tesha satat yuktanam bhajanta purti purvakam dadam
Preeti
priti
Purvakam.
purvakam
Preeti is coming here.
dadami
That's why I said Preeti ji. So Preeti Purvakam. Go ahead, please.
dadami buddhi yoganam tam yena mam
Upayanti te.
upayanti te.
Very nice. Thank you, Chetan. Last one, Udeji, last but not the least.
Teji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
या राधे राधे तेषां शततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते. राधे राधे.
Very nice. Thank you, Udeji. So in this shloka, I picked this one up because in this again, God is talking, see, he's talking about love, devotion, bhakti multiple times during Bhagavad Gita. This one I picked up because again, it's talking about loving devotion. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna is saying, to those whose minds are always united with me in loving devotion, devotion is the key word, loving has been prefixed. I give the divine knowledge. I give, he's saying, you don't acquire it, I give it, by which they can attain me. Okay. So now we were in 4.4, like I said, I've taken a reverse, 4.3, because we didn't discuss about the friend aspect of it, because Lord Krishna is saying, you are my friend and my devotee, and we did not get into the devotion. It's important we have a good understanding about what devotion means, what devotee is, what bhakti is, because different people have different interpretations and understandings of this concept. Okay, so that is what we are going to talk about today, and hopefully it will shed some more light on this topic before we proceed further. So let's get started. This is what we are going to talk about. We are going to bring in a beautiful video from Swamiji today, okay, where he's going to talk about bhakti and what is the significance, and what is the significance of bhav we are going to talk about, right? We say, like, we use this word bhav in our language, that person is having bhav or in bhakti, and then we use this word ki bhav kyun kha rahe ho types, right? But bhav is a very, very, very deep sentiment and an important ingredient on the path of devotion. We'll talk about that as well. Okay, so let's get started. A quick recap on why we are where we are today. So this topic that we are, this knowledge that we are going through, it is being referred to as rahasyam hetad uttamam, meaning the utmost secret. Okay, so it's not a knowledge which you go out and it's available freely on the street or with anyone. It's a very topmost secret. And the secret, in order for God to preserve the secret, he doesn't have to, put it under lock and chain. He can make this knowledge accessible, which we all have. But we spoke about this topic, how many, even though Bhagavad Gita is such a common book, while growing up, we hear about it, how many of us actually gotten a chance to read it? And even if we have gotten a chance to read it, how many of us have actually gotten to really go deep and try to understand it? It's very difficult to do that, even if we have tried it. And that is how God protects his knowledge, because unless we have a certain, what you call that, eligibility around it, like he said, the knowledge or the secrets will not get revealed. Okay, so he has locked it with his Chitta Shakti and he reveals it using his Chitta Shakti for us. That is how he protects it. And it is called the utmost secret. As we go through Bhagavad Gita, he's saying it's a guhitam, guhitar, and guhyam, guhitar, and guhitam. Secret, more secret, and more secret. That is how he will go about all these concepts. Now we are getting to do that. So it's a privilege for us. And I hope we are able to appreciate that fact. We can say thank to God, Maharaj Ji, Swami Ji, for giving us this opportunity and a platform to be able to discuss it on a daily basis. Now, what type of secret knowledge? The top secret, supreme secret, because it's a manual for life, what you need to do on a day-to-day basis, right? And Krishna says it is also, I'm speaking to you on the battlefield today, and it is an ancient knowledge. And he picked up a battlefield for a reason. If Arjun could do, take this knowledge and implement it in a battlefield, which requires utmost sophistication, focus, and the kind of stress that he was in, that any situation that we consider ourselves in relation or relative to the situation that Arjun was facing is insignificant in that sense, right? So that is why he picked up a battlefield and he picked up Arjun to impart this knowledge. So this is the context where we are. Furthermore, Arjun is saying, why are you selecting me on this battlefield? Why not somebody else? Why not Yudhishthira? Why not somebody else? So he said, you are speaking a philosophical doctrine in the science of God, of God to me. I'm not a Vedantist. I'm not even situated in Brahman. I'm not even a sannyasi. I'm an ordinary grihast, at least in that Leela. Why are you speaking this knowledge to me. And Lord Krishna goes on to say, that is the reason for that is because the only qualification that you need to have is that you are my devotee. That's all. My devotee. Now, what is a devotee is what we are going to talk about. Devotee means one who practices devotion. What is devotion? Devotion is known as bhakti as well. What is bhakti? Is it doing Radhe Govind Govind Radhe, and chanting and dancing, or it goes much deeper than that? Okay, different people have a different understanding of bhakti, and bhakti is also considered as something, for people who have dim intellect, who don't understand the deeper things, and they just go and do that stuff. Is it ritualistic stuff that we do? Is it something more deeper than that? We are going to talk about that. And we'll talk about it by listening to Swamiji's video to begin with, and we'll go deeper into some of these concepts. And Preeti, for your sake, I've brought in some graphs as well today. Okay, so Bhakti, let's try to understand from Swamiji. He introduces a beautiful concept called Bhago Bhakti. Okay, Bhago does not mean run like in Hindi. Bhago means part of the whole. What is Bhago Bhakti is what we are going to talk about. And then let's understand, if we have to do Bhakti, right, what is the root of that word? And what is essentially we need to incorporate or imbibe in our day-to-day routine for us to be called Bhakt. Now, God is called Bhakt Vatsal. Now, becoming a Bhakt or a devotee is a big aspiration, right? Just because we do a little bit of Kirtan chanting, sure, that is a good aspiration. It's a good start. But in order to become a devotee, it's a great aspiration. So, a better strategy for us, at least for my people like me, is become, relate to the definition of God as Deen Bandhu or Patit Pavan, thinking of ourselves as nothing or as fallen souls. Okay, that becomes a better strategy. But becoming a good devotee is a great aspiration we all should go for. And that is the whole purpose of this discussion today. So let's get started. Let me know if you're able to hear the sound. It's a beautiful lecture. Now, without a devotional heart, I'm going to play that lecture. So the key thing here is to have a devotional heart. And people who lack bhakti or devotion, they cannot really truly get the import of Bhagavad Gita. No matter if you are a big scholar, Jnani, Yogi, Tapasvi, whoever you are. If bhakti is missing, devotion is missing, then you cannot get the true import. It's not a matter of mental gymnastics or intellectual gymnastics, Bhagavad Gita. So devotion is the key ingredient. Let's hear this lecture now. Just give me a thumbs up.
What is this bhakti?
Are you able to hear it?
Yes.
We all talk about bhakti. What does it mean? To give you all a little idea, I'd like to discuss a few definitions of this word bhakti. The Vedas say, Bhajanam bhakti, bhajanam nama rasanam. Bhakti means to relish the bliss of God. We all seek bliss. We all want bliss. And God is the ocean of bliss. So to relish His bliss is bhakti. When we bring Him to our mind, which means when we take our mind to Him, we will experience His bliss. To what extent? To the extent of our bhakti. Like, for example, if you are hearing a description of God, a recitation of His pastimes, His leelas, if you have got 4 annas of devotion, He will give you from inside 4 annas of bliss. If you increase your devotion to 8 annas, He will increase your experience of bliss to 8 annas. You increase your devotion to 16 annas, He will increase your experience of bliss to 16 annas. So, our experience of bliss is to the limit of devotion. And between these two, a competition ensues. The devotee constantly keeps on increasing love. and God constantly keeps on increasing bliss. Neither the devotee loses out that enough, now no more. Prema mein Purnima nahi. The moon reaches the full, it waxes until the full moon and then it wanes. But in love, there is no full moon. It just constantly increases. So the devotee keeps increasing his or her love, and God keeps on increasing his bliss. He doesn't say, all right, I've finished my treasure chest, no more bliss. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Dohe kare hura huri, badhe mukh nahi muri. None of them lose out. This competition goes on for the rest of eternity. So the Vedas have said, Bhajanam Bhakti, Bhajanam Nam Rasanam. There's another definition of Bhakti, Bhanjanam Bhakti. There is ignorance in our hearts. There is the bonds of the material energy. And Bhakti is that which breaks these bonds and dispels the ignorance, that releases us from the suffering of the material energy. So Bhakti liberates us from material bondage. That is what it is. There are many other definitions of Bhakti. Naradji, he says in his Bhakti Darshan, Sa Paranuraktirishware. What is Bhakti? Now remember, many of you are aware, Naradji is the writer of the Narad Bhakti Darshan. So he defines Bhakti as extreme attachment to God. You all experience attachment to son, daughter, husband, wife, rasgulla, television, golf. Now, attachment to God, but not that. Narad qualifies it paranuraktir. Extreme attachment to God is bhakti. Maharshi Kapil says, let me give it a try. Maharshi Kapil is an avatar of God, and his long dissertation to Mother Devahuti forms a part of the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he says, just observe the holy Ganges. It flows incessantly from Gomukh to Ganga Sagar, through the Himalayas and the Indo-Gangetic plain all the way to the Bay of Bengal. So the flow of that river is constant. Similarly, if all our thoughts could begin flowing towards God, if all our thoughts could become godly, that would be bhakti. Jagat Guru Shankaracharya says, let me try. So he says, take a needle and stick it into a potato. Just like the needle is stuck in the potato, it doesn't get dislodged. You stick multiple needles. Similarly, if all our thoughts could get stuck in God, if all our thoughts could be connected towards God, that would be considered bhakti. See, every acharya has described bhakti differently. Shankaracharya's disciple, Madhusudan Saraswati. This Madhusudan Saraswati's tales are very astonishing. You know, the big temple in Vrindavan called Radha Govindji Mandir. He sat down out there and he sat in Samadhi for 3 years. And one Rajput king built this huge temple all around. So Madhusudan Saraswati says, Drutasya Bhagavad Dharma Dhara Vahikatam Gata Sarveshe Manuso Vrittir Bhaktiritya Vidhiyate. He says, by engaging in devotional practices, when the heart melts, then as a result of your sadhana, your effort, your spiritual engagement, the impurities disappear, the heart becomes soft and it melts. Drutasya Bhagavad Dharma. And it flows in the direction of God. That will be considered bhakti. There are many, many more definitions. Now come to the definition of Ved Vyas. Ved Vyas says, look, I am the writer of the Vedant. So hear from me what bhakti is. Bhajitye shivai dhatuhu sevayam parikirtita tasmat seva budhai prokta bhakti sadhana bhuyasi. He says the word bhakti has come from the root bhaj. The dhatu is bhaj. And bhaj dhatu means sevayam parikirtita. It means to serve. So bhakti means to serve God. That's bhakti. And let's give you the one final definition of bhakti, which is my favorite. You have heard it from me many times. This is bhago bhakti. What is bhago bhakti? We are all bhags of God. We are all His parts. Just like the hand is a part of the body. So, what is the function of the hand? To serve what it is a part of. The hand will take the food and place it in the mouth. It will take the water and throw it on the body. So by serving the body, the hand is automatically taken care of. It receives from the body whatever nourishment it needs, whatever blood, whatever nutrients, whatever oxygen it needs. The hand doesn't need to think, how do I take care of myself? How do I serve myself? The hand only performs its dharma to the body. And it's taken care of. Now, supposing the hand refuses to submit to this dharma, why should I serve the body? So many years have gone by. Seva karo, ab aise karo, enough. Cut me off from the body. I'll take care of myself. I'm not interested in this service now. I will be self-employed. Can the hand subsist by itself independent of the body? Impossible. Its self-interest lay in the service of the body. So similarly, if the soul can understand this relationship with God and understand that its self-interest is in the service of God, and by serving God, it will get the bliss that it is seeking. To have this understanding in the intellect is bhago bhakti. So Kripaluji Maharaj says, Joi swaratha pahichan dhanya sohi. One who realizes where the self-interest lies, that person becomes dhanya, are blessed. Everybody is running for self-interest all around the world. And if they can understand this connection, they have begun their bhakti. This is bhago.
All right. Hope you enjoyed this powerful lecture on bhakti, and it helps shed light on this topic of bhakti. Bhago Bhakti, if you understand, that paves the way for all kind of bhaktis, because Bhago Bhakti covers everything. Why? Because love for God, immersing your mind in God will automatically happen, because every thought, like that Ganges example Swamiji said, is going to rivet towards God only. And the beautiful secret that he spoke about, see, we are all selfish, which is not a bad thing. We will continue to be selfish. We don't have a choice until we become God realized. Like that beautiful verse that Swamiji recited from Maharaji, Joi Swarath Pahichan Dhanya Soi. So if we become truly selfish, truly understand where our self-interest will be served, like that hand-body relationship, the job is done. We are already blessed. But the problem is we don't know where our self-interest will truly get served, and we end up serving things around Maya and all that stuff, and not deepening and establishing that relationship. So serving God is a huge privilege that will start giving us all that we have been seeking us this far, lifetime after lifetime. So seva, that is why it says, in seva you have meva. Now serving God doesn't mean that Lord has to descend in front of you and you start feeding him, washing his feet and all that stuff. We'll talk about those concepts as well, because God has given us basis to do that as well. But at least in our day-to-day lives, when we start building that consciousness, add seva as part of our routine, where we are not getting paid for it, but we are doing, basically helping out in our God and Guru's mission, that itself becomes a very purifying seva. That is the significance of Bhava Bhakti. But let's move forward on that a little bit more, because it will make up for a very interesting discussion. Now let's talk about a little bit about Bhav in the path of devotion. It says that we need to decorate and enhance our Bhav. And what is this Bhav? Now, Bhav is defined as the richness of sentiment towards God. The sentiment that we build towards God is called Bhav. And devotees are very, very careful about preserving and enhancing and keeping on decorating that Bhav. And it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he would go to Jagannath temple, when he would look at the deity, the temperature of his fingers, body would rise so much that where he would place his fingers, those imprints are still present in that temple. That much temperature his body, would experience just because of his bhav. And he would not get too close to the deity. It's a deity, end of the day. God is everywhere. It's not in the deity. We know that, right? But he had decorated his bhav to such an extent that my God resides in this deity. It's just a basis of building a connection. It doesn't mean that he's negating the existence of God everywhere else. Yes, God is present everywhere. God is residing within. But when you do deity worship, you are building a sentiment there. So his sentiment, he had built it so strong that he would not get too close to that deity, that if he sees any imperfection, in that deity, his bhav will get distorted. That was the level of his bhav. And that bhav is a very important thing that we need to preserve on this path with our Ishtadev, whoever it is. And that is basically decorating that sentiment. And devotion is the quality of the bhav that we present. So these are some of the technical terms. In that sense, we need to decorate our bhav. Bhav is the richness of sentiment and devotion is the quality of bhav. Okay, to make it simple. So, and this is the secret sauce to enable leap towards God realization. You need a bhav. See, end of the day, we spoke, no matter which practice you are doing, you might be doing Kundalini Jagaran, you might be doing worship of formless, you might be working with your consciousness. End of the day, you have to surrender to God, get his grace, and then the journey would be completed. So bhav, it's just a matter of time before you will be required to nurture that bhav. With your self-efforts, there are two kinds of, there is a Swaruparika Maya and a Supavarkika and I think Gunavarkika Maya. So the one aspect you can conquer through your self-efforts. But when it comes to Maya, the Vidya Maya and Avidya Maya you can conquer. Vidya Maya, for you to conquer, you have to surrender to God. It's a very simple principle. Even in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is said, Ishwar Paridhanat. 3 times it is mentioned. That means finally you have to surrender to God. Whichever path, whichever tradition you are on, you cannot conquer Maya with your self-effort alone. So the devotion aspect in the path of bhakti, it is beneficial because you are building those sanskars ground up. It's not like you reach the peak and then your guru will say, Aham Brahmasmi will not help from this point onwards. Now you have to worship the Saguna Sakar, get his grace, and then you go across the cycle of liberation, or basically from the cycle of life and death. Now, if we talk about bhakti, let's plot a chart here. What do we get? Okay. On one side, let's put bhakti. On the other side, let's put the things that we have always been seeking: bliss, joy, peace, knowledge. So what happens when you enhance your bhakti or devotion? This increase as well. The experience of bliss, the joy, the peace, even the knowledge for that matter. How does the knowledge come? You say, I'm doing Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe, doing their, Manasi Puja, and then I am doing the seva. How will my knowledge will increase? Why? Because the layer of impurities are getting cleansed. And when those layers are getting cleansed, when your soul starts shining forth, the knowledge is already, we are Anusit, Anuchit, Anu Anand, right? Knowledge will start getting revealed from within. What other things would happen? The ignorance, the graph will become like this. Ignorance will start getting reduced. What else will happen? Now, if you talk about the other problems that afflict us, anger, lust, greed, and envy, how will the graph look? Straight or this way? It will again diminish over time. So to put it in perspective, if you do bhakti, basically it is a one-stop shop solution for you. And it's more like a Swiss Army knife. You pop in a pill and other things will be taken care of automatically. You don't have to start watering the roots, the leaves, twigs, and the fruit. It's like you're putting root. When you do devotion, when you do seva, when you attach your mind to God, when you nurture your loving devotional sentiments, all of these things will happen automatically. And if it's not happening to you, what do you need to do? Double the dose. Okay, it will happen. There's no other way it will not happen. And bhakti is known as, in Narad Bhakti Darshan, Narad ji is the doctor of bhakti. Okay, in his Bhakti Darshan, he has written beautiful sutras explaining. He said, bhakti gives its praman, like salt gives its praman in food. So you will experience all of these things, and go ahead and start experimenting with it and see the results for yourself. So that is the beauty of this path. Okay, with that now we'll open it up for discussion, what we have spoken about, and any comments that I see. A couple of hands already. So
Yeah.
yes,
Keshav ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Keshav ji.
Radhe Radhe. I have heard 3 new things which I never heard. Number 1, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Number 1, Arjun never ever recited Radhe Govind, Govind Radhe. I have heard it first time. Because Radhe Naam was not there at that time, to my little knowledge. Number 2, Purushottam Krishna did not pick Arjun because Arjun surrendered to him. Arjun himself surrendered to him, and 100%. Only then Krishna told him whatever he told him. And number 3, why he told him? Because he, number 1, surrendered, and then he put his tools, धनुष and बाण रख दिए नीचे और रथ के पीछे भाग में बैठ गए. So that is the moment when Purushottam Krishna told him. अर्जुन ने asked him, मैं लड़ू नहीं लड़ू, कौन जीतेगा कौन हारेगा, and हथियार फेंक दिए. So that is why Purushottam Krishna told him, कर्मण्येव अधिकारस्ते, अब तेरा कर्म करना अधिकार है. और ये कहा कि तुम कर्मणी मत बन. Why? Because उसने हथियार छोड़ दिए थे. It was particularly directly referring to Arjun. And number 3, oh my gosh, why Krishna will create that situation and we look for Arjun will not fight and I'll teach him? He is Purushottam Krishna. He has millions of Brahmans, and he is himself in each and every one of us. And when you talk of deity itself is God. Why? Because प्राण प्रतिष्ठा के बाद हम डाइटी की पूजा करते हैं. Let us please remember these very minor things, but most important things. He is God. We believe in Murti Puja. So it is not deity, it is God, God himself. जिसकी भी डाइटी मूर्ति बनी हो, फोटो रखी हो आपने, हमारे घर में फोटो रखी हो पेरेंट्स की, तो क्या हम कागज का पन्ना समझते हैं उसको? नहीं, प्लीज नहीं. ही इज आवर फादर, पेरेंट्स, मदर, वाइफ.
Yes,
अगर
Keshav ji.
वाइफ, सॉरी, राधे राधे, जय श्री कृष्ण.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you. Yes, fair point. He does not do Radhe Govind Govind Radhe. But when God is prefixing devotion with love, we are going a little deeper. What are the ways how we can express love and how we can cultivate love? That is what we are talking about. Secondly, Arjun is a Nar Narayan avatar. He's already a realized soul. He's just doing a Leela along with Krishna for our benefit, where he's posing these questions. Third thing about deity, when we speak about, yes, it is God. God is everywhere, including that deity. Pran Pratishtha or otherwise, even in pillar God manifested, like when Hiranyakashyap Narsingh avatar happened. So it is the sentiment that gives you the result, not the object. So material object, divine sentiment, divine result. Divine object, material sentiment, still divine result. Divine object, divine sentiment, still divine. One of the variable is divine, you still get the same result, and that is the whole idea of deity worship. Now we are playing with semantics. We call it deity, we call it God, but when your sentiment towards deity is God, does not matter what you're calling it, right? Some people call it Shaligram. Now, does it become any less than God? Of course not. You call it Shaligram. You call it my Laddu Gopal. God does not care whether you're calling me God or what. It's the sentiment that matters. Yashoda Maiya did not even call Krishna Krishna, Kanua. She would call him Kanua. Does it make him any less than God? Of course not. It's the sentiment aspect of it, which we are talking about. And when it talks about loving devotion, the aspect of love, like I said, where Bhagavad Gita stops, Bhagavatam begins. What is love for God? That whole philosophy goes into much deeper when you read Bhagavatam. And that is where chanting aspect, when you do remembrance of God with bhavs, that is called loving devotion. If you want to go even further, go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right? So if we restrict ourselves to Bhagavad Gita, of course, they are introducing the concepts, but we have the liberty of going into the deeper philosophy, which Maharajji and Swamiji has made accessible to us. And that is why I bring it to these sessions. Let's take a few more hands to continue with this discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Nitinji. There's a question in chat from Ramya ji. What is the difference between divine love and devotion? Which one is bhakti? Which one is bhakti, love or devotion?
See, divine love is something we get from God when we do bhakti. So bhakti is something that we practice towards God. As a fruit of it, God gives us divine love, which is his highest power. Okay, and divine love is something which is a prize from God's side. He gives us back. So when we experience divine love, it is a gift from God to us. Devotion is something which is our gift back to him. We are practicing devotion to God. And then beyond a point, God starts becoming your devotee as well. Okay, so divine love he is given you, but God becomes enslaved. See, we all have a CEO. Everybody has a boss, right? Our senses has a boss in form of mind. Our mind has a boss in form of our intellect. Our intellect has a boss in form of our soul. And then we have a boss in office. Somebody says, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm my own boss. No, your boss is government. You still have to comply to the regulations. So everybody has a boss. Ultimate boss is God. So when we start complying or working for our boss, that boss actually becomes your employee. Okay, that is the only relationship where boss is willing to become your employee. So he gives divine love as a gift to you when you practice selfless devotion to him. So this is the technical difference between the two.
Very well explained. Thank you, Nitinji.
Yep.
Radhe Radhe, Tarunji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Tarunji.
Radhe Radhe. Hi Nitinji. Yeah, I would like to share my little bit of experience on this. As you said, the bhakti is most important. We have been hearing it also. But in my experience, the knowledge helps me a lot to go towards bhakti.
Yes.
Until this knowledge was with me, that who is Brahm, who is Ji, who is Maya. I have gone through this Yoga chapter and Maharaji chapter. That helps me cleared a lot of dirt, and that has helped me a lot. So I I totally get to that point, and I also fully endorse that point that Gita will help you in why should we do bhakti, and then Bhagavatam is one which will give the devotion. So I think the dhyan or the bhakti will come from the Bhagavatam, and why should we do bhakti will come from Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice point, Tarun.
Just
very important point you brought about Gyan. The Gyan, it's like two bullock carts, right? When you plow a field, Gyan will lead to Bhakti. If Gyan does not lead to Bhakti, that is not true Gyan. If Yoga does not lead to Bhakti, that is not true Yoga. It is Kuyog, it is Agyan. Gyan leads to Bhakti. The more Bhakti you get, it will lead to more Gyan. Then more Gyan you get, it should lead to more Bhakti. And more Bhakti you get, it leads to more Gyan. And finally, it's only Bhakti because you don't need Gyan anymore. That is how this process works. So Gyan and Bhakti are both pillars are needed on this path. And after a point, Gyan has a Purnima. No more Gyan is needed. Then it's only Bhakti. You take the wings of Bhakti and then fly. So very beautiful point you got.
Yeah, thank you. Just one more thing. If time permit in the end, I would like to hear on the Navda Bhakti whenever.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe if next session is needed. But yeah,
sure,
thank you.
We can probably have a session. I'll briefly talk about that. By the way, tomorrow we will touch upon the topic, I think, which Ajit ji brought in. Tomorrow we are going to have a quiz, right, Rahul? So we'll have a small quiz and we will talk about philosophize about why this creation. Okay, we'll try to tackle it from different angles and I look forward to that engaging discussion. Why this creation? Why did God create this? And I posed a question that if you have a choice, one choice is you are sleeping blissfully in deep sleep, where you are not even aware of yourself. It happens. That is one choice. Second, you are in a wakeful state with an opportunity to become like God. Which one would you prefer? Okay. So we can probably put a poll question as well, Rahul, along with the quiz questions tomorrow and have this fascinating discussion. I'm looking forward to that. And getting into the Bhavs aspect of it, we'll get into next week. Yes, let's take the remaining hands now. By the way, I wanted to make quick announcements related to the Yoga Fest that is coming up. We have a keynote from Swamiji on 16th. And a very impressive cast of speakers coming in for the yoga festival. So check it out. Do register for that, as well as family camp if you have not registered for it. And during family camp, we are going to celebrate, I think, what you call that Guru Purnima as well. It coincides with that. So check it out. You can register for it online or in person if you can make it nothing like it. So these are the two things, and you can come back to the announcements if you have more. But let's take a few more hands.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Nitinji. Radhe Radhe, Monica ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Monica ji.
Radhe Radhe, Nitinji. Radhe Radhe, everybody. And Nitinji, like you said, Gyan leads to Bhakti, and then more Gyan leads to more Bhakti, and after that you don't need Gyan at all. You will not need anything at all when there's Bhakti. At times Maya takes over, but then when you have people like you around us, trust me, I know that it's clear path, and we are in the happy space, right? So my question was, when you're in happy space and people also see and they want to know, what changed and everything. Obviously, you cannot explain it in one sentence or maybe just 5 minutes. So how okay is it to share your experiences that you actually, like you said, miracles life ka part ban jayenge, you just get used to it. So is it okay to discuss these things with people who are not on bhakti path, or should we not? I think I know the answer, but there are people who are genuinely seeking. So do we share these things?
It's a bit contextual here. See, if through miracles, people could get into the path of bhakti or devotion, then Krishna would have done too many of those, and Lord Ram would have done the same, right? That basically bhakti is you develop a connect with God. But yes, one of the best things to do is if people see happiness quotient, peace quotient in you, they will automatically get inspired. Something is working for them that I need to know about. That's the best way, actually. You become kind of an example for them that, okay, something is working for them. But yeah, it's okay to experiment. I mean, if those are the close ones and you think they are receptive to it and that might spark their interest, I think that's perfectly okay. But if you're getting some special privileges from Krishna, you would like to keep it with yourself until, you get orders from Krishna that it's okay. Because then you don't want to trivialize some of the stuff that you're experiencing, right, along this path. So, but take a call, take a judicious call. So
very
some
well
people
said,
get attracted to this thing when they think, oh, chamatkar is happening. Maybe I need some chamatkars in my life as well, right? But Maharaj ji used to say, chamatkar ko namaskar. So if that was the idea, then every saint would show so many chamatkar, but then you will get attracted to the chamatkar, not the real love for God. The whole idea of bhakti is to develop love for God, where you don't get impressed by God's, the abilities. You just focus on, building a connect with God. And we'll talk about those bhavs next week. But thank you for asking that question, Monica ji. All right, couple of hands.
Rahul ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Rahul.
In Narad Bhakti Darshan, in the second sutra, he has mentioned Amrit Swarupa Cha. So, and Maharaj is also mentioned in the Bhakti Shatak that Gyan mare de bhakti pad, karm mare de swarg, amar rahe ek bhakti, cha na swarg apwarg. So that is what he's saying, that Amrit Swarupa. Yeah. So हम भक्ति क्यों कर रहे हैं? भक्ति पाने के लिए. उसके बाद क्या करेंगे? भक्ति करेंगे.
भक्ति करेंगे, एग्जैक्टली. तो भक्ति की पूर्णिमा नहीं होती, राइट? कर्म will lead you to celestial abode.
Yes.
Karam will lead you to celestial abode. Gyan will lead you to bhakti, or basically, maybe building of pride, or maybe conquering Maya to a certain extent. But then beyond a point, it cannot take you. You need bhakti. Bhakti is the secret sauce for everything. This is a very deep concept, actually. The bhakti aspect, people don't get that. And then it is the thing, actually. What do you do bhakti? How do you do bhakti? By doing bhakti. What do you get by doing bhakti? Bhakti. What will you get after getting bhakti? More bhakti. That is how bhakti continues. There's no end to it. Right? That competition ensues between a devotee and God at that point.
Beautifully said, Nitin ji. Thank you. Shri Ramya ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. I had a question on divine love. So divine love is what we get from God. But what about the love which we feel towards God? Is that not considered divine love? And by devotion, should it be like I'm always thinking about God, because that's not possible,
No.
because I'm
No.
working sometimes, and
No. Devotion means not thinking about God. See, if you are performing a surgery, or you are playing cricket, or doing some task like Arjun was doing, how can you think about God? You cannot think about God and do that task. Devotion means your attachment to that. You are attached to something. You are always attached to something. A mother, even though she may be in a nurse, or she may be in school, her mind is attached. Somewhere it is riveted to something. So that attachment, when you are working in office, your attachment is there somewhere. I'm going to get my salary, or I'll get a bonus, or I'll get a promotion, or then I'll enjoy. The attachment is what bhakti is. Attachment to God, not that you're thinking about God. That is there at the back of your mind always. That knowledge is there at the back of your mind always. See, there was a guy who wanted to marry a girl, and his father said, I'm not going to marry my girl to you. First you earn, you become, get this promotion and earn 6-figure salary, and then I'll marry my girl to you. So this guy goes and starts working hard. So when he's working hard, where is his attachment? Is his attachment to the work, or to his boss, or to impress them? No, his attachment is his lakshya. Back of the mind is always that girl. So attachment part is something we need to cultivate at the back of our mind to God. And that will come with practice. Not that you're thinking about, oh, I'm thinking about Krishna. How will I do my surgery? How will I do my work? No, that attachment, it's a deeper thing, right? When you do the meditation, you build that thing. When you fall in love with somebody, or if you're in love, that person is always taking your mind space at the back of your mind. If you're fallen in love, it's an easy concept for you to pick up. Okay, it's there, that person. You don't have to think about that. It's there at the back of your mind, no matter what you're doing. That is called bhakti, where you're united with that consciousness always. Attachment. God is saying attachment, not think about me. Thinking is automatic there.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Thank you. Yes, very much. Radhe Radhe.
That is essentially Karam Yoga. People complain that how can I think about God and do my work? You don't have to. If your attachment is there, you can do that. And second is seva. When you say, why do I have to do seva if I'm doing meditation with Krishna, or my Ishtadev Ram, or Shiva, whoever it is? Why do I need to do seva? See, when you love somebody, you do something for them. You don't simply sit and think about them, right? And even in real life, you want to do something for them. You want to present them something. You want to meet them. You want to interact with them. All that is a natural consequence. So seva is a very natural consequence of your bhakti or devotion, or cultivating love for God. Seva is not something different you have to do. It is a natural natural consequence of cultivating your love for God, nothing more. That is how it goes. And Karma Yoga is essentially what? You have that at the back of your mind, your attachment is rooted somewhere else, and then you keep on performing work. Nobody's asking you to think about God and not do your work. You do your work, but your attachment is not misplaced at that point. Not that I will get my bonus and enjoy my trip to Hawaii, or I'll earn more and enjoy that, I treat myself with this. That becomes bhog. When you keep at the back of your mind, I'm doing it for the pleasure of God. He's given me this ability. I can earn more so that I can give more. I want to enhance my skills so that I can serve better. Those are the kind of sentiments that are uplifting, not that I'm going to enjoy it and I will do this and that. So that is essentially what Karma Yoga is. Yes, Vyashini.
Yeah, beautifully said, Nitinji. Should we make some more announcements, Nitinji, before
Sure,
this?
yes, let's make the announcement and then we can take a couple of hands and then we stop at 10 or 8:30 and move to devotional segment if we have. So let's make the announcements and then take a couple of hands.
Yeah, thank you, Nitinji. I'll just take a quick moment for some announcements. So first of all, of course, Swamiji's upcoming events are going on. Please do take advantage of that. May 30th to June 2nd, Newington, Connecticut. So yay for Boston, Connecticut, nearby people. We have chance to go and meet and spend time with Swamiji. So I'm heading out. I'm very excited for that. And June 3rd to June 9th, Morrisville, North Carolina. June 10th to June 15th, Fairfax, Washington. June 16th to June 18th, we have Dallas Yoga Fest with Swamiji. And I have already posted the link and I'm going to put more information about it. The next very exciting announcement is about Swamiji's upcoming new book. Extremely delighted to share with our Daily Wisdom family that pre-order links for Swamiji's new book, The Art and Science of Happiness, are now live in India. And in US also in Amazon, both in Amazon link, I'm going to post it in the chat. And Dallas Family Camp and a spiritual retreat, which is going to be from July 4th to July 10th. And we can register online as well as in person. Family Camp is the 7 days with Swamiji in Radha Krishna Temple. And it will be a blissful time of the year. So I'm going to put all the links in the chat. Please do take a look at it. And one more quick thing is that feedback tracker is also posted for your questions, feedback, comments. If you have any more questions, please do feel free to put that in and Nitinji will look at your question and get back to you.
Yes, please do fill it out or put in any feedback that you may have for the session as well. So I always read it after the session. So thank you. Okay.
That's it from my side.
Thank you
For waiting. There's Siniji. Please go ahead, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Vyashini.
Radhe Radhe Bhaiya, Radhe Radhe Pallaviji and everyone. So I just want to share a very small thing. Actually, previously I was in the beginning, I was quite confused about the three people like Karma Kandi and Karma Yogi and Karma Sannyasi. Karma Sannyasi is a little bit easy to understand, little bit, I mean, not too much, but I was confused about Karma Yogi and Karma Kandi. So now I'm cleared. And above that, I was a little confused that why the Vedas always mention the contradictions, that on one side it praises the Karma Kandi, but on the other hand it condemns the Karma Kandi. Why is it so? So now when I was going through my daily sadhana course, I got to know from Swamiji that karma, actually Vedas condemn those Karma Kandis who just perform the rites and rituals from outside, devoid of devotion, devoid of love for God. And that's why Vedas have a contradiction, and Vedas condemns the Karma Kandis who do not have no love for God. But on the other hand, Karma Kandis are praised who actually performs the rites and rituals by understanding the value of the mantras, understanding the meaning of the mantras, and in fact, invoking the devotion and love for God. So that is the reason I just wanted to share this thing, that without devotion, everything is just a zero. So that is the reason we should perform devotional work towards and offer all the works to God. So, and also one more thing which I wanted to share, that here in this example of my confusion, the Bhagavad Gita verse, I do not exactly remember the verse, but that verse that you need to take a shelter of God, realize saint, and then your confusion will be removed. So this matches. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Dayasini ji. What a clear understanding. Wow. Awesome. You're all set. Seems like we lost Nitin ji. Rahul ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think Nitin ji might be having some connection issue,
Some
but I wanted to add one more announcement that on Swamiji's YouTube channel, there is a brand new series which started today only. I think 1 hour before the series started. So that is based on his new book, The Art and Science of Happiness. So I think that would be also very insightful for everyone to watch and learn from.
Yeah. I think Nitin ji is able to, he is having trouble logging in. Let me see. Okay, yeah.
I think he's there. Yeah, I just unmuted him.
Okay. Yeah, I got disconnected. I'm back now. Sorry. Okay, so was there a question from Dayashini around Karam Kandis, Karam Sannyasi, and Karam Yogis, or was it more of an explaining what she understood?
Yeah, Dayasini has a very solid understanding. That's very good. Yeah.
Okay. So as long as there's no question, that's good. All right, cool. Then are we good to move here? Rahul, you wanted to say something or?
No, I think we are good. I just wanted to announce about the Swamiji's new book, YouTube series, which is starting today. So it is based on that new book. So I just shared that.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. There is one question in the chat. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Seema ji is asking, how do we know that we have got orders from Krishna to tell everyone about the chamatkar that happened with us?
Krishna will come and personally tell you that, okay, that I'm very sure. So basically, I don't know, orders from Krishna, you'll get it intuitively. See, your intuition will become so strong that you will not only pick up the vibe, but the message from Krishna as well. Okay, so rely on your intuition for that. It'll happen. I know you have tons of questions related to the new soul that is coming in, right? So keep your question parked for now, or you can keep asking it separately. Great. Are we good then? Or do we have anybody who wants to recite or chant today?
I don't see any questions. I think it's time to move on to devotional segment.
Okay, I may have to join my Wi-Fi again. So if I get disconnected, don't get disheartened. Let's continue. Anybody who want to chant today? I don't see any hands today. Okay, so then I can recite one line which Maharajji, Swamiji said. Okay, the Ashini is there. So the Ashini, you can get started. I'm going to join back again through Wi-Fi because I don't know when hotspot. I'm on hotspot right now. So yes, go ahead and I'll be back shortly.
Sure, Nitin ji. Radhe Radhe, Dayasini ji, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe. So this is again the bhajan of Maharaj Ji. It is मैं तो वारी जाओ बरसाने वारी प्यारी.
Beautiful.
मैं तो वारी जाऊं बरसाने वारी प्यारी. मैं तो वारी जाऊं बरसाने वारी प्यारी. जय हो ब्रज रस बरसाने वारी. जय हो ब्रज रस बरसाने वारी. प्यारी जू के पाछे पाछे डोले बनवारी. प्यारी झुके पाछे पाछे डोले बनवारी। प्यारी पाछे ब्रज नारी पाछे बनवारी। प्यारी पाछे ब्रज नारी पाछे बनवारी। प्यारी रास रस प्रियतम कृपा प्यारी। प्यारी रास रस प्रियतम कृपा प्यारी। गिरिधर धर सिर चरणन प्यारी। गिरिधर धर सिर चरणन प्यारी। सब मिली बोलो जय हो सुकुमारी। सब मिली बोलो जय हो सुकुमारी। गावो नाम धावो रूप तो कृपालु प्यारी। गावो नाम धावो रूप तो कृपालु प्यारी। मैं तो वारी जाऊं बरसाने वारी प्यारी। मैं तो वारी जाऊं बरसाने वारी प्यारी। थैंक यू। राधे राधे।
Amazing, amazing.
Beautiful, Yasini. I can't join from my laptop, so joining from my mobile right now. So loved it. Do we have anybody else who wants to chant as well? Lakshmi ji is there as well. Yes, Lakshmi ji.
Yes, Radhe Radhe, Lakshmi ji.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah, thank you. Radhe Radhe. आरती कुंज बिहारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। आरती कुंज बिहारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। गले में वैजयंती माला, बजावे मुरली मधुर बाला। गले में वैजयंती माला, बजावे मुरली मधुर बाला। श्रवण में कुंडल जल काला, नंद की आनंद नंद लाला। गगन साम अंग कांति काली, राधिका चमक रही आली। रतन में ठाड़े बनमाली, भ्रमर सी अलग कस्तूरी तिलक। चंद्र सी झलक ललित चावी श्यामा प्यारी की। श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। आरती कुंज बिहारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। आरती कुंज बिहारी की, श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। श्री गिरिधर कृष्ण मुरारी की। राधे राधे। थैंक यू।
Radhe Radhe, Lakshmi ji. Very nice. Wonderful. We did an arti as well today.
Yeah.
Let me help you do some.
Nitinji, it's amazing that Lakshmi ji sang this arti. That when I was doing today's Sri Krishna arti, that's what I thought that today I should sing this. And Lakshmi ji, it was telepathy, huh? You sang that. I was so happy to hear this. Oh my God, amazing.
Sorry.
Very nice, Lakshmi ji.
Actually,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
It's all.
Lakshmi ji
it's all
started singing
your-
recently and she has really picked up on it. So loved it.
Thank you.
Very nice,
It's all
Lakshmi ji.
blessing. Thank you.
Thank
Radhe
you,
Radhe.
thank you. Very beautiful. I was so happy to hear this. Wow, thank you.
Thank you.
Rahul wants to sing as well. Huh?
Yes, Rahul ji, please go ahead.
If time permits, only 2 lines. Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Always, always.
ठाकुर युगल किशोर हमार, चाकर हम पिय प्यारी के। ठाकुर युगल किशोर हमारो, चाकर हम पिय प्यारी के। गुरु सेवा ही धर्म हमारो, गुरु सेवा ही धर्म हमारो, दास न हम श्रुतिचारी के, दास न हम श्रुतिचारी के. राधे राधे.
Beautiful. Loved it, Rahul. And this bhajan is so beautifully says that, Das na Ham Shruti Chari ke means knowledge is one aspect of it, but Guru Seva is the Param Dharam for us. Rest all can come by itself.
Yeah,
It was a beautiful bhajan.
It says that I am not a slave to the rites and rituals
Slave to, yeah.
prescribed by the four Vedas.
Yeah, rituals or the knowledge. Yeah, very true. Thank you so much. All right, Pallaviji, do we have? I think I see a couple of more hands.
Yeah, we have 2 more hands raised.
Okay.
Smita ji, Radhe Radhe, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Smita ji.
Radhe Radhe. I will. गोविंद मेरी यह प्रार्थना है, भूलू कभी ना मैं नाम तुम्हारा, निष्काम हो के दिन रात गाओ, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. प्यारे जरा तो मन में विचारो, क्या लेके आए क्या ले चलोगी, कोई न साथी हरि को पुकारो, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. देहांत काले तुम सामने हो, बंसी बजाते मन को लुभाते, गाते यही नाथ तन प्राण त्यागो, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति, गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति. राधे राधे.
Very nice, Smita ji. It's beautiful bhajan. Loved it.
Beautiful. Yeah,
very,
beautiful,
very nice.
sweet, melodious
And
bhajan.
see, you have moved so many people to tears already. Very nice. Okay, last
Yeah,
but not the
Swati
least,
ji.
Swati
Yeah.
ji. I think Rema ji wanted to sing as well. So please go
Yes.
ahead. Swati ji, go ahead. And if we have one more maybe last one or two we can do, and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
अलबेलो हमारो यार, प्रेम के बंधन में, अलबेलो हमारो यार, प्रेम के बंधन में. नहीं जात समाधि न योगिन जे, नाचत ता थई ये ब्रजमारिन की तारिन कटार, प्रेम के बंधन में. अलबेलो हमारो यार, प्रेम के बंधन में. नित खोजत बेदरी चान जे, बनी यशुमति के सुत काना ते, बंदे उखल राधे बंधे उखल मिले निहार, प्रेम के बंधन में. अलबेलो हमारो यार, प्रेम के बंधन में. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Beautiful, Swati ji. It's a very, very beautiful bhajan. Thank you so much. I think Ramaji wanted to sing as well. Maybe
Yes.
one last.
Yes,
Ramaji, I
Radhe
have
Radhe,
unmuted.
everyone.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Radhe Radhe, Ramaji. Please.
Should I?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is from, I don't know all your bhajans in the JCO, but I can
No
sing
worry.
from
Bhajan
Meera.
is a bhajan is a bhajan. We have had so many Meera bhajans in our session. So please go ahead.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. मेरे तो गिरिधर गोपाल दूसरों न कोई मेरे तो गिरिधर गोपाल sorry I have a bad throat दूसरों न कोई जाके सर मोर मुकुट मेरो पति सोई मेरे तो गिरिधर गोपाल दूसरों न कोई असुअन जल सींच सींच प्रेम बेल बोई अब तो बेल फैल गई आनंद फल होई मेरे तो सॉरी अगली बार और अच्छे से गाएंगे राधे राधे
Very melodious, beautiful bhajan.
Beautifully sung. You did so well. So you get the debut singing award today. But we should hear more often from you because it was sung very, really well, and it's a beautiful bhajan. So thank you so much, Ramaji.
Thank you so
And
much for giving me this opportunity.
you sang really well. I must say that.
Thank you.
Hope to hear you more, Ramaji. Thank you.
Ji, thank you so much. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you so much. It's our honor to hear you. All right, wonderful. We had a great session today. So tomorrow I'll give you some Himachal Darshan also, some view of the landscape that you can see from my rooftop. So, but yeah, it was a very beautiful devotional segment today. Loved it, and I look forward to another session tomorrow where we are going to philosophize about why this creation to begin with, right? Why did God create all this drama? So thank you again for your enthusiastic participation.
Deyasiniji is requesting you to sing 2 lines as well, Nitinji.
No, that was the Swamiji, what he said. That just stuck with me. It's a beautiful, right? He was like, Jo Swarth Pehchan Dhanya Soi. It's a very important line. Person who understands his true self-interest, that person is blessed. We are all selfish, but we don't know where our true self-interest will get fulfilled from where it will get fulfilled. That's all. Great. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Thank
Radhe
you.
Radhe.
Thank you so much, Nitinji, for another awesome session. Thank you so much. Good and stay blessed, everyone. Thank you all for wonderful participation. See you all tomorrow.